Hi everybody. I didn't have time to I'm gonna get ready because I was in the shower and this message came and I just had to share it right away. Um, so forgive me, I'm gonna brush my hair while we're chatting. Um, so the result of touching the truth should be total freedom in body, mind, emotions. And that will look different for everybody. So a lot of the issues that I'm seeing come up is if I've had a true non-dual experience, why am I not free? You were always free. You are free. Non-duality is the end of suffering. It's the end of that identity of the me, or of the I, of the Kate. It's her last curtain call, your last curtain call. The last part of the show. If you've heard non-duality, this is the end for you. And from here, there can only be a movement into freedom and into the end of suffering. So this is actually an ending for you. And every moment is this ending. Every moment is this death. Every moment is the last call for Kate. And so I haven't wanted to talk about the chakra system in my satsangs because I want to make the distinction between the freedom that you are and then what that freedom does post a non-dual recognition. Because it's active, it's alive, it thinks, it feels, it decides, it moves. It's not a static, empty stillness. I know it's easy to think like that, especially if your non-dual experience is in meditation. I understand. But true freedom, it's very dynamic. So those of us that are depressed or stuck in a non-dual realization are not letting this energy move through us, and that is where the chakra system comes in. A lot of teachers do speak about this, and I just want to make sure that the way that I speak about it doesn't get you stuck even more. Because the last thing I want people to do is to use their chakras and to think that releasing samskaras or beliefs, traumas, is the way to suffering, because it's not. Or to liberation, it's not. You are already free. What you are has always been free. It has never been touched by the movement of chakras or samskaras or thought or feelings or trauma. However, the chakra system does play a role in how the freedom that has been recognized continues to express itself. And in a non-dual awakening, it's very, very likely that if the awakening was a spontaneous one, that the samskaras start to open. I mean, it's almost certain that they will open. And so the beliefs start to dislodge themselves and they start to come forward to the forefront. So those beliefs or limiting thoughts that have been holding the body back from freedom, from the expression of physical freedom, start to come into the focal point, and they start to demand attention. And so that's when a lot of people, I think, get stuck. They go into the non-dual recognition of I am nothing or I am everything, and then they fail to work on the body. And then you have situations like Ramana Maharshi, who is in a Himalayan cave being eaten by insects. And I've talked to many people who have had this realization, and they're in their 60s and they're in their 70s, and the one thing they regret is that they let their body go. They let the Kate go. They failed to fully surrender to that river of freedom. And that river of freedom that happens post a non-dual experience is allowing Kate be Kate fully. You know, like all those things that are in you that you're scared of, you have to eventually move into those things, because non-duality, it's really about being fully and truly you. And there's no longer a limitation on that. There's nothing stopping you from that anymore. If you are all of life, then there is just that one movement. And it's a return to that movement, even though that movement's never been left. It's only ever been that movement. But it's kind of just like the body has been so free all along, but it's been just because of thought, it's been in a contracted state. So it's forgotten its freedom. It's forgotten that it's fully liberated. So this is a remembering. But in that remembering, there is action. This isn't about stopping action or stopping doing. This is really just about releasing the doer, letting go of that doer and letting life take over, without letting life get into that navigational role, and without dropping that personal self away, which is only locked in that sharkic system because of fear. That non-dual realization is not going to move for you. So I do struggle speaking about this, but that's only because I think you can figure this out for yourself, and that's really the whole goal. I may just be a pointer. I'm like a road sign, you know? I don't have the answers. You're the answer. You're the clarity. The same thing that's speaking to you is the same thing that's listening. If you've heard this message, then I am returning you back to you. Source is returning you back to yourself. It's calling you back home. And I'm not saying answer the calling of your life purpose or whatever. Ultimately, the only intention of the truth is to answer the calling of the moment, of right here. About no longer turning away from what's appearing in front of you, no matter how painful that is. It's about surrendering to the cancer, surrendering to the argument, surrendering to the job loss, surrendering to the bankruptcy. This isn't a message for everybody. This is a message for people who want the truth. This is a message for people who are ready to lose everything for the truth. Otherwise, I'm quite sure this message is of very little interest. So go into it all the way. Don't blink, don't turn around, just go. And so that's what I had to tell you while I was in the shower, and I had to tell you that right away. And that was that calling. Okay, have a great day.